Hi folks, this lesson is called Dimensional Analysis, and the reason why is because we have to analyze measurements of different amounts and convert them from, like you see, feet to second or hours, feet per hour to miles per hour, ounces to cups. And the good news is that you can use what you know about proportions to solve them. All right, so let's tackle this first one. Convert 10 feet per second to inches per second. So you start off creating a proportion, writing down the things that you know. So we want 10 feet per second. Remember, that means one. Per means one. So 10 feet per second. And we want to convert that to inches per second. Okay, so I have inches per second. Now you might notice there's a problem because in proportions, the top labels have to be the same. The bottoms are the same, second, but we have feet and inches. So we have to change something. They have to be the same. Well, I don't know any number here, so I'm going to have to change this 10 feet to inches. Well, how do I do that? Well, we have to start off with how many inches are in a foot. There are 12 inches in 1 foot. 12 inches in 1 foot. Okay, so if there's 12 inches in 1 foot, then how many inches are in 10 feet? So off to the side, I do my proportion, and I crisscross multiply, and I divide by the lonely guy. So I've got 10 times 12, which hopefully you can do that in your head. 10 times 12 is 120. And then I'm going to divide by 1. Well, that's just going to give me 120. Okay, so 10 feet is really 120 inches. So I can change that to inches now. Okay? Actually, I need to put that here because I've converted it. 10 feet per 1 second we found is equal to 120 inches per second. So have we answered our problem? Yes, we have. 10 feet per second is 120 inches per second. And we used our proportions to figure that out. Let's try this next one. Convert 47,429 feet per hour to miles per hour. Okay, let's write down what we know. 47,429 feet per 1 hour, and we want to make that equal to miles per hour. So mile per hour. All right, what do we got? We have hours on the bottom, but we have feet and miles. We have to make one of them the same as the other. So it looks like this feet, we have to change it to miles. Now here is something that you really should try to memorize. There are 5,280 feet in 1 mile. Okay, so let's see if we have to figure out miles per hour. If there are 5,280 feet, I'm going to change that and turn it to my ratio, feet in 1 mile. We want to know how many feet, we want to know how many miles are in 47,429 feet. Okay, this is the miles. All right, let's go make sure that we did this right, okay? We'll look again. We have to take 47,429 feet, there's the feet, per 1 hour. And we want to find out that's equal to how many miles per hour. All right, hour, that works. We've got to do something to change that so they're the same. Okay? So, to make them the same, I put down that 5,280 feet is equal to 1 mile. Let's put down our feet, like we did. We want to know how many miles is that. Crisscross multiply, divide by the lonely guy. Okay, so we are going to 47,429 feet times 1 gives me the same thing, and then I'm going to divide that by 5,280 feet. All right, so 47,429 feet times 1 divided by 5,280. Crisscross multiply, divide by the lonely guy. If we plug that into our calculator, we get 8.98. Now if they want us to round that to the nearest, let's say they say to the nearest tenth. All right, so the nearest tenth, I have to look at the 8, which means that's going to go up. Well, if that goes up, that makes that go up. So our answer would be 9 miles. So 47,429 feet in 1 hour is going to be 9 miles per hour. Okay, it's okay to still be a little confused. We're going to keep doing these. Let's look at another one. Convert 34 ounces to cups. Now, if you guys remember your gallon guy, you should start trying to think, well, how many cups, how many ounces are in a cup, how many cups to a pint? Well, here's the information if you have forgotten it. 8 ounces equals 1 cup. All right, so let's first set up the problem. 34 ounces. Okay, and we want to know how many cups that is. 34 ounces is how many cups? I don't know. Well, 8 ounces equals 1 cup. Where should I put my 8? It's ounces, so it goes on top. And that my 1 goes down here. Wow, check this out. Do we have enough information to just crisscross multiply divide by the lonely guy? Yes, we do. So we can. 34 ounces. Oh, I really should have put my ounces here so we can see that everything's the same. So now I can go crisscross multiply 34 times 1 divide by the lonely guy. So 34 times 1 divided by 8. Plug it into your calculator. 34 times 1 divided by 8. What do you get? 4.25 cups. 4 1/4, 4.25 cups. Okay, take a deep breath, and we're going to practice some more. All right, here we go. 34 ounces, 2 cups. I think we just did that one. Okay, here we go. Convert 7 yards to feet. And we need to know how many feet in a yard, and hopefully we know that there's 3 feet in 1 yard. So let's write this out. We have 7 yards, and we want to know how many feet is this. Okay, well, let's put our yards on top and our feet on the bottom. So how many yards are in 1 foot? Excuse me, I said that wrong. How many feet are in 1 yard? 1 yard has how many feet? 3. Okay, I've got my yards on top. I have my feet on the bottom. And it looks like I can crisscross multiply, divide by the lonely guy already. Sounds cool. So I'm going to go 7 times 3. And I divide by 1. And that's going to give me 21. And the answer is feet. This will go right there. 7 yards is 21 feet. Okay. Hopefully starting to get a little easier. Let's do another one. How many seconds are there in 3 hours? All right. So how would you set this up? How many seconds? So we don't know that. That's our x. And let's write seconds in 3 hours. Okay. So I have to have seconds on top here, and I have to have hours on the bottom. So you have to say, well, how many seconds are there in an hour? Yikes. Can't do that. I've got to first say how many seconds are there in a minute. I can't say 60 seconds. That's not right. 60 seconds in 1 hour. So we have to come over here and first find out how many seconds are there in a minute. Okay, so that is equal to 60 seconds in 1 minute. Okay, is that going to help me here? Nope, because I need hours on the bottom. So 60 seconds in 1 minute. So I need to know I don't know how many seconds in 1 hour. And that was the bell for first hour. Okay, so I've got seconds and seconds, I've got minutes and hours. So I've got to change my hour to minutes. So how many minutes are there in 1 hour? 60. So we can change this. Let's use red. We can change this now to 60 minutes. Okay. So we want to now figure out how many seconds is that. Because look, I've got my... And now I'm ready to crisscross multiply, divide by the lonely guy. Because I've got minutes across, seconds on top. 60 times 60 divided by 1. Well, 6 times 6 is 36, and I've got 2 zeros. So that would give me 36 with 2 zeros, 3,600. Divided by 1 is the same answer. Okay, so I've got 3,600 seconds in 1 hour. So I take this answer, 3,600 seconds in 1 hour, using our proportions. All right, here comes a little longer word problem. A company rents bicycles for $8 per hour. How much per minute is this? All right, I've got $8 an hour, and I want to know per minute. So I set up my proportion. Dollars on top for 1 hour is equal to how much, I don't know, in 1 minute. I guess I should put my dollar sign up here. Okay, I've got dollars on top, which is good, but I've got an hour here and a minute there. So I need to change so they're the same. All right, I can't take 1 minute and change it to an hour, but I can take hours and change it to minutes. And, you know, you might know that right off the bat and know that 160 minutes is 1 hour. And that would be pretty easy. So all you would have to do then is take this hour and change it to minutes. And this is now 60 minutes. All right, I've got dollars on top. I've got minutes on the bottom. I can crisscross multiply, divide by the lonely guy. Okay, so I have 8 times 1 is 8 divided by 60. Excuse me, 8 times 1, crisscross multiply, 8 times 1 divided by 60. Plug that into your calendar. Wow, your calculator. It's not going to do you much good in your calendar. 8 times 1 divided by 60. Okay, you're going to get a decimal. 0.133, then it keeps going. Now this is money. So how would you round that off so it would be money? All right, think of this as dollars and this is cents. So this would round off to $0.13 per minute. Try this. A recipe calls for 2.5 quarts of chicken stock. How many pints of chicken stock are needed? And we give the information that 2 pints is 1 quart. Well, let's underline the stuff that is important. 2.5 quarts of chicken stock. And we want to know how many pints is that. And it tells us 2 pints equals 1 quart. So let's set up our proportion. We have 2 and 0.5, 2.5, and this is going to be quarts. And we want to know how many pints that is. Okay. Well, the nice thing about this is they tell us 2 pints equals 1 quart. So where should the pints go? Pints are on the bottom. So 2 pints and quarts is on the top. There we go. My proportion is done. I've got pints and pints, quarts and quarts. I don't need to change anything, so I can just crisscross multiply, divide by the lonely guy. So 2 times 2.5, that's going to give me 5 divided by 1. So 2 times 2.5 divided by 1. And on your calculator, that should give us 5 pints. Okay? All right. If you have 36 inches of ribbon, how many feet of ribbon do you have? Go ahead and set up your proportion, and then when you think you've got it done, press play again. All right, so pause now. All right, did you set up like this? They gave you the information of 36 inches of ribbon, and we need to know how many feet. So 36 inches is, I don't know how many feet. So then we have to say, well, what goes on the bottom? We're going to have feet and inches. Feet on the bottom, inches on the top. And 1 foot is 12 inches. And now that, and I can divide by my lonely guy. So 36 times 1. And then I'm going to divide by 12 on your calculator. And our answer will be 3. Labeling it 3 feet. All right. when you come to class tomorrow, we are going to work on these some more. Write down questions about what part is confusing to you, and it just takes a lot of practice, okay? You might even want to just take a look at the beginning part and see if you understand it a little better now that you've gone through the whole thing. Alrighty, I will see you in class on Thursday.